Well, for more now, we're joined by Dr. Harry Hagopian, who is an international lawyer and ecumenical advisor. Thanks so much for speaking to us. Do you believe this was necessary for Ukraine to do, or does it only further stoke tensions with Russia?
Well, in a sense, it has stoked tensions with Russia, but it's not a question of whether the Ukraine had to do it or not. It's a question that nationalist feelings are running both ways. The Russian Orthodox Church, which in a way is very closely associated with the Russian political forces and President Putin, wanted to keep control of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church and pretty much considered that the two churches are one and it could decide on behalf of the Ukraine, whereas the Ukrainians themselves, after the annexation of the Crimea and the struggles and the fights in eastern Ukraine, they said, we don't want to stay with the Russian Orthodox Church, we want to have our own independent. The term in church terms is autocephaly. We want to be independent. And they applied to the ecumenical patriarchate in Istanbul to grant them that. And the patriarch has done that. And of course, the Russians, both church-wise and politics-wise, are insulted by this, and hence this whole storm in a teacup about schisms and breaks between various branches of the one same church.
Right, but I mean, this decision doesn't just affect Ukraine's position with the church. I mean, others will now really have to decide where to ally themselves. How complicated and political could that become?
This is already quite political, and the problem is, you mentioned something about 120 million Orthodox basically belong to the Russian Orthodox Church. I would even suggest that more than 120 million do. And in a sense, because of that numerical superiority, the Russian Orthodox Church, both with the previous patriarch who's now dead and the current one, have always thought that by sheer numbers they have to have the upper hand and the authority in what is decided within the Orthodox Church. I mean, we've seen this happen time again in meetings where one party doesn't attend the meeting or the other party is upset. And now, in a sense, the Ecumenical Patriarchate of Istanbul, which has a very, very small number of followers, roughly some 3,000, are saying, no, we are first among equals and we want the Ukrainian church to be independent. The Ukrainians are very happy. The Ukrainian president is on record saying that this is a new day for the Ukraine because of the nationalist feelings I spoke about. And of course, the Russians, who do not like that, because there is a whole concept within the Russian Orthodox Church that anything that has to do with Russia and all the countries that are pretty much considered to be in its orbit should belong to the Russian Orthodox Church. And who is this upstart old man in Istanbul, they say, who has decided otherwise? And therefore, this break or this freezing of relations between the two churches, which now, as you said also, forces the hand of the other Orthodox Eastern churches to decide which way they want to ally themselves.
Okay.
I was listening, for instance, to the Patriarch of Lebanon, of the Antioch, who said, at a moment when Christians are so divided, do we really need this? The answer, of course, from me is no, but who am I to decide on their behalf?
Okay, Dr. Hagopian, thank you so much for some of your insight there. Very much appreciated.